Greenville Jazz Collective started in 2012, and we I guess that's a couple years after I moved to Greenville. And I've been teaching for over 20 years now, teaching private lessons and some class stuff and that kind of thing. I've always wanted to create an organization that could give back to the community. And, this is a way we can serve that. Also, when we started Jazz Collective, we didn't have many offerings of live jazz, especially original music. And that's something we started out really trying to promote, original jazz. You don't hear that anywhere. So
I haven't really got one yet.
So we've had a lot of success in trying to bring in some concerts and special guests, and also we have a lot of things going on, jazz camps like yourself, and everything now. We're trying to figure out virtual ways to bring the same things to people. But it's an organization that starts. One of our biggest things that we started doing initially in the first year was going out to visit schools, and so our goal was to try to visit all the middle schools in Greenville County, because we feel like that's a very that's a great age to start, especially start playing music, but really getting into the art form of jazz and really getting into exploring your instrument and seeing what all your instruments can do, give them the palette and also that history. Students, even elementary students, love the history of jazz and how it ties in, and they know more than I thought. And you go to schools, you start asking, who's your favorite jazz musician, and you don't expect an answer, but you get, people are tuned in, especially kids, and you can if we can start early with this thing, that's kind of our take on it. And but just trying to be a catalyst for jazz and jazz education in the area is our main goal.
So I love it. I think you guys are doing amazing work. I mean, you've definitely been a shining example for me and for the ColaJazz organization. And we've definitely looked to you guys and seen what all you're doing. And I think you guys are doing a great job. And Bruce, you joined the Greenville Jazz Collective sort of recently in the past couple of years, yeah?
Yeah, that's right. Shannon and Matt Dingledine and Brad, I guess, was also one of the original musicians that kind of coalesced around the idea of a nonprofit organization. And they started a little nonprofit organization, kind of ran it as catch as catch can, I think, for the most part, for several years, and built up a kind of following and a rapport with the Greenville County school system and a bunch of schools throughout the county and the upstate. And, like I said, a loyal following in Greenville, playing around in clubs and bars and restaurants and outdoor festivals, and, just kind of chugging right along. And then here I come a couple of years ago, sort of retiring from a career in nonprofit management and fundraising, and just kind of accidentally ran into Matt Dingledine, was taking a guitar lesson from him.
Wow.
And in introducing myself, told him about my career, and he was like, well, me and my friends have a little nonprofit and we need some help. So I was like, all right, this is exactly what I'd like to do in my spare time in my semi-retirement. So that's how I kind of just stumbled into it. But it's been a lot of fun, and helping the organization kind of organize and grow and get more formally out into the community with schools and other kinds of alliances, like with the Hispanic Alliance. Recently, we did a series of videos in partnership with the Hispanic Alliance. Shannon was the music director of the series, and we ended up recording 5 videos that the Hispanic Alliance then released, 1 per week during Hispanic History Month this past month. So building new wherever we can, looking for the opportunities to collaborate with schools, with local churches, with other nonprofits, with you know the deal there in Columbia. And ColaJazz does such a great job of sponsored events and the marketing of jazz and keeping things going there in Columbia. So it's great to have these things happening all in of all places, South Carolina. And people come to. I live up in North Carolina, actually, up in the Brevard area. And people come up here expecting to hear nothing but, bluegrass music off of the front porch. And when they go out to clubs in the area and they hear this, world-class jazz musicians playing, they're just blown away. They can't believe that, oh, this is happening up here in the Western North Carolina mountains. And, so I think we got it going on in South Carolina and on up into Asheville. And, it's a cool thing we got going for jazz, and we really appreciate all the work that you do in South Carolina to keep things chugging along. But we're like everybody else right now. We're kind of in a state of limbo. It's hard to plan ahead. We just started advertising a very minimal kind of youth jazz ensemble session this fall and winter, and it's we're scheduled to start on November 2nd, but all signs are not pointing in the right direction for that. So we're just having to. Luckily, we're small and we don't have a building to pay for or a bunch of staff, so we don't have a lot of overhead. We can be agile. And this is a good time to be agile and have that capacity. So we're holding strong, and jazz isn't going away in Greenville. It isn't going away anywhere, but definitely not in South Carolina. So we're just kind of biding our time and taking the opportunities that make sense and not endangering people and not endangering musicians and, just trying to kind of hang in there until we can get back to some sense of normal. We did do an outdoor concert about 2 weeks ago now at Center Stage for about 50 people and celebrated the centennial of Charlie Parker's birthday and also of Peggy Lee. And part of our presentation today was going to be basically that same program, but the singer, Dr. Tish One, has come in contact with someone with COVID. So out of an abundance of caution, it didn't happen in that way. So, it's having an impact, and the best we can do is hang in there. So our hats off to you, man, in Columbia, and we're brothers, sister cities in jazz here in South Carolina. So keep up the good work.
Well, thank you, and amen. I think we have an amazing trifecta between Greenville Jazz, ColaJazz, and Charleston Jazz. I think between the three of us, if we keep supporting each other, man, we're going to make amazing things happen. And it's affecting all of us. We all have to proceed cautiously optimistic. And you got to keep trying and keep pushing, because you're right, the music isn't going anywhere. And if anything, we need this music more now than ever before.
Yep.
The life skills, the values that jazz teaches in terms of dealing with adversity, about having the skills to deal with a difficult time and be able to shift immediately with elegance and grace and sophistication. You just think about taking a blues solo and someone's cell phone goes off. How do you deal with that? What do you do? Or the keyboard player throws a weird chord at you, for like that chord might be COVID. Well, how are you going to navigate that? You got to have the skills to do that and to communicate with people. Right. And to be able to support each other, to be able to listen, to be able to contribute, these kind of things, man. We need jazz now more than ever.
That's true. And even kind of just the general mindset of freedom and inclusiveness. The most recent Saturday Night Live included a skit in which Mike Pence identified jazz as like his kryptonite. So,
Nice.
I was like, yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. It is.
That is brilliant. I love it. I love it. That is fantastic.
Yeah.
So we just had the great Kevin Bales join us. Kevin is a fabulous piano player out of Atlanta. I'm sure you guys know him.
Hey, Kevin.
Kevin is presenting a concert for South Carolina Jazz Festival, and we're going to be officially interviewing him at 12:30. But you're welcome to jump in anytime, Kevin. I'm going to just unmute you and jump in, and if you have anything to contribute, please do. We're talking with Shannon and Bruce of the Greenville Jazz Collective.
Hey,
and
guys.
Backstory on their organization. And so Shannon, can you tell us, or Bruce, can you tell us about the concert that's going to be presented for the South Carolina Jazz Festival?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Shannon.
Yeah. So we've got a couple different things. We were trying to pick a couple different concerts that we've been doing lately, in this year. Some current things. So we've got, Bruce was telling you about the Latin jazz videos that we did for the Hispanic Alliance. And so we're going to send you, we've got 4 of those videos together as separate tracks, and feature some great musicians here in town. And you'll love Jamie Wright on the vocals on that stuff. She sounds great. So we also have a video of our big band performing with Tish Oni. She's another one of our local great singers here in town, and you guys love her down there, ColaJazz. We did a concert. This was a couple years ago. Did a concert, so we've got that video up. And the last bit will be members of our quintet. It's actually a quartet on this video, but Matt Olson, Matt Dingledine, myself, and drummer Bimby Orley from Asheville, and we're doing that was part of our tribute to Charlie Parker that we just played a couple days ago on Sunday. So kind of a mixture of things. We wanted to kind of mix it up a little bit, show some of the recent things we've done.
Man, that's brilliant. I love the diversity of that programming. And you guys are going to be airing on Saturday, October 24th at 6:30 p.m., one of the closing concerts. And after you is the finale concert with Don Braden, fabulous saxophonist out of New York, and he's airing at 8 p.m. So Saturday night lineup is going to be incredible, man. I love you guys are presenting such a wide array of ensembles of music. I mean, that's definitely in the spirit of Dizzy Gillespie, right?
Yeah.
Different things, a lot of different ensembles.
Yeah, we appreciate the opportunity. Yeah.
So what do you have? You mentioned about looking forward into the future and trying to plan some future programming. Obviously this COVID has put a huge wrinkle in the art scene. And I mean, as us working musicians, I mean, it crushed us for the past 4 months. Thankful to nice weather. We're starting to do some outdoor concerts and, able to put some dollar bills in the bank account again. But more importantly, to be out there in the community playing. So what are you guys looking forward to coming up to round out the rest of 2020 and going into 2021? What do you have coming up? What are you looking forward to?
Well, as Bruce mentioned, we have a youth jazz ensemble that we started a couple years ago, and it normally runs in November. We're going to tentatively start it in November, and all safety precautions and all that. So kids in the area can sign up, on our website, greenvillejazzcollective.com, and that will be a chance for them to play in combo setting. We have 2 combos meeting every Monday, and with our, that's basically what we'll have for our education component going. We're working with Greenville County Schools to maybe provide some virtual content for them, as we've gotten some grant money, but we're can't really visit the schools right now. So we're trying to actually put some videos and virtual content and talk to the band directors and see what would be best for them right now. Otherwise, we do have our quintet, which the CD has been in the works for years now. But the quintet that I mentioned earlier, we have a CD coming out this winter, and all originals from myself and Keith Davis and Matt Dingledine, Matt Olson. And that's going to be a lot of fun to actually, hear the final product and let it get out there and let people hear what we've been working on for a while. So, Bruce, can you think of anything else on the horizon?
No, I guess I would just add that we're looking. This is in early 2021. We're hoping to be partnering with the city of Malden in an outdoor festival there. That's in April, the end of April. Mm-hmm. But no, what you mentioned is a big enough plate right now, given everything else that's going on. Frankly,
yeah. And we've had, we've had some. We just did a recent concert 2-3 weeks ago at Center Stage here in Greenville, and we're trying to partner with them as they feel. They can do some safe things. This was outside, so as soon as they're ready to, do some concert series, we hope to get in that room. It's a nice hall for us.
Right. We are. There is one thing that I wanted to mention. We're launching a radio station.
Of course. Yeah.
WGJC, live streaming online, expertly curated. Jazz of all eras.
Yeah, and Mark, we're putting your stuff up today.
Sorry?
I said, Mark, we've got his CDs up there. So his
yeah. Cool.
Get them. I finally sent them to you.
Yeah. Cool. Appreciate that. But we're, part of our mission is to focus on the musicians of Western Carolina and promote what's going on. So that's going to be a big part of it. And before I have to get off and you talk to Kevin, I just wanted to say, Kevin, you and I have never met. My name is Bruce Burney, and I'm the executive director of the Greenville Jazz Collective. And I was the first student at UNF in the UNF Jazz program with Rich Madison.
Get out of here.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, Rich has been having a lot of attention to that program has come up recently. I mean, for the start of that program back in the 80s.
Is that right?
Yeah, they're doing trying to maybe publish a book of all the photos of that time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
And there's a clip on Facebook now of an entire rehearsal of Rich with Clark Terry with that first
Terry. Yes,
it's
wow.
So inspiring. Just
after my time, nobody knew who Rich was or what he was doing, and there were 3 of us in the class. The first guy that he hired was Ricky Kirkland. Rick
Kirkland,
the drummer, and they started building a big band out of the high schools.
How long were you in Jacksonville, man?
Oh, I was born in Jacksonville, but went to UNF to finish up my degree, and just happened to land there at the time that the year that they hired Rich to come and start that program. And he had to do I think maybe 1 or 2 classes. The rest of the time he was out in the community recruiting people, high school students, but he had to pull at least one class to be a professor or something there. And he taught a jazz improv class, and there were 3 of us. And I was the only one who had ever played in a combo before.
I mean, people like Rich and like Mark Rapp, they represent something I love about being a jazz musician in the South, which is jazz is a community everywhere, of course, and it's vibrant everywhere. But there's something about being in the South here and how much people pitch in together and create these hot spots that are all connected. I count South Carolina as part of where I grew up, even though I was in Florida and Atlanta. To me, it's just this really beautiful Southern thing. I can't tell you how often I play with people who've come from the North, come down to play, and they're like, wow, how long did you live in New York? I'm like, New York? And there's so much jazz down here. They had no idea. Mm-hmm. So when Mark asked me to do this, I was very excited. It's great to meet another benefactor of the great Rich Madison.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Man, awesome. I love it. Well, fantastic. Well, thank you guys. So you're welcome to stay on and rap with Kevin if you want, or just
thanks, Mark.
Otherwise, I'm going to turn it over to Kevin here and talk about his upcoming concert. So thanks, Shannon. Thank you, Bruce. Appreciate y'all.
I'll take care.
All right.
Nice to see y'all, you guys. Can't
see
wait
you, Kevin.
Shows.
Take care, man.